Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadow City Podcast. I am your host, Larry, and this is The Shadows Within. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Hope y'all have a fantastic day today. I got some shows to cover, but at 1 p.m. PST time, we will be doing Dark Side of E-Feds with Vexy Ross, so stay tuned for that. And the shows we are covering are All Star Pro, GW Fight Club, EWS, and GPW. Now we are going to start with GEW Fight Club Bloodbound Volume 2. And to kick us off, it was a King of the Cage three-way matchup for the King of the Cage Championship. And it was between Jack Daniels, Chambers, and the champion Psycho, with Chambers becoming the new champion. Bloody Five, Jay Smoke, Garmar, Afterburn, ADOT, and Tyler Jones, with Jay Smoke walking away victorious. Brawl Bloodfest, Lazarus Hyde versus Jared Michael Grant versus Hunter Mills versus Tony Tornado versus TLK Ty Thomas versus Mr. Greatest versus Magic versus Crimson, with Magic walking away victorious. Fight Club Women's KO Championship, Jenna Holcomb versus Luna Star versus the champion Nagini Red, with Nagini Red retaining the gold. Underground World TV Championship Falls Count Anywhere Fatal 4-Way, Killian Bane versus Inkslinger versus Gorilla Cruz versus Grimlord. Special guest referee was Frankie Fingers, with Gorilla Cruz becoming the new champion. Queen of New York Championship three-way match between Haley Ramone the Blackheart versus Violet Death versus champion the Baker, with Violet Death becoming the new champion. GEW World Class Championship between Damian Briggs versus Zero King versus Almighty Khan versus Wolf Danger versus David Pope versus the American Badass John Wigginton versus J Money versus the champion the Gremlin, with Damian Briggs walking out the new champion. Fight Club Triple Crown Championship Extreme Rules, Ego the Prince versus Bombshell versus the champion Foxspit, with Foxspit retaining the gold. Fight Club U.S. Championship Extreme Rules, special guest referee was Yams, before Johnny Hernandez versus Sonny Chiba versus the champion Don Mecca, with Don Mecca retaining the gold. Fight Club KO Championship Underground match, Jay Prince versus Robert J the champion, with Robert J retaining the gold. And to cap off that show was the King of New York Championship Big Time versus the champion Caleb Hopkins, with Caleb Hopkins retaining the gold. Now for EWS Black Market Episode 5. Kyle Parks versus Maximilian Hilton, with Maximilian Hilton walking away victorious. Extreme Rules The International Coalition versus the Crew in a tornado tag, with the Crew walking away victorious. Extreme Rules Tiger Lad versus Phantasma Diablo, with Phantasma Diablo walking away victorious. EWS Women's Tag Team Championships Tornado Tag Extreme Rules, the champions Ren Blade and Starlight versus the challengers Hyacinth and Roxy Graves, with Hyacinth and Roxy Graves becoming the new champions. Extreme Rules Paige Crucial versus Laura Little, with Paige Crucial walking away victorious. And to cap off, Extreme Rules Tornado Tag Kazarian Justice and Taylor Valentine versus Diagul Cartel, with Kazarian Justice and Taylor Valentine walking away victorious. All-Star Pro Pal Driver Season 3, Episode 41, Jay Red versus Jimmy Kane, with Jimmy Kane walking away victorious. Miss D versus Nina Schmidt, with Miss D walking away victorious. Katsumi Yoshimura versus Bishop Blaze, with Katsumi Yoshimura walking away victorious. Big Lou versus Cold Steel, with Cold Steel walking away victorious. Carter Goldman versus Mike Steele, with Mike Steele walking away victorious. Mason Payne versus Buster Anderson, with Buster Anderson walking away victorious. The Ghost J Jin versus Ronan Reaper, with Ronan Reaper walking away victorious. Taryn Williams versus Reagan Anderson, with Reagan Anderson walking away victorious. Tyler Nelson versus Jack Graves, with Jack Graves walking away victorious. GPW Battle of the Brands. The Outlaw versus Isaac Frost and Nate Tables matchup. Outlaw walking away victorious. 15-minute finisher match. Travell Daniel versus the Savage John Robb, with John Robb walking away victorious. Falls Count Anywhere. Reagan Anderson versus War Maiden, with Reagan Anderson walking away victorious. Welcome, Lil Psycho. Welcome. Hope you are well. Next up, The Monster versus Victor Blackthorn in a 20-second count, where The Monster walked out victorious. Sledgehammer match. Ryan Kai versus Gang Mac, with Gang Mac walking away victorious. Submission. Jack Graves versus Ranger Rogue, with Ranger Rogue walking away victorious. Bishop versus Unrivaled Blade, with Unrivaled Blade winning, but gets attacked by Bishop, Alexander the Judge, and Jack Graves after the match ended. Chaotic versus Carnage, with Carnage walking away victorious. Extreme Rules Jeannie Jaw versus Sylvia Knight, with Jeannie Jaw walking away victorious. An 8-man tag between Team GCW and WWM, where Team GCW walked away victorious. We will be having that Dark Side of E-Feds today again at 1 p.m. PST time, ladies and gentlemen, with Vexy Ross. Stay tuned for that. Also, go check out No Love Loss today for SPW when it goes down. On February 24th, Asylum by ROV Thunder. Tomorrow, Mortuary Massacre for DSEW and Anarchy Archives tomorrow. But also go check out IWA, the greatest show that happened yesterday. Go check that out if you haven't. And that's the news that I have to go over at the moment. There will be a future War Room to go over the greatest show. But I hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. Happy Valentine's Day. Peace out.